All right, let's get started. So I just want to show you a couple things. This will be super quick. I added a column to the spreadsheet, so you all know where the spreadsheet is. You can link to it from here. I also shared it in the Discord. And I added a column here for class recordings. So I'll just put the class. I won't record all the classes because sometimes you guys are just going to be working. Like I'm thinking tomorrow for Thursday, you'll be doing a lot of work. I'll only record maybe the beginning. There might be a few demos about animation at the beginning, but I won't bother to record that. I mean, I'll record that. I won't bother to record when you guys are working. Okay, so deliverables. Right, so anyway, so those are here. You can always find those. I'll keep those added. In terms of deliverables, you can look at that here. So tomorrow, 9/26, you have Sprint 1 and M1 for your Unity project. What's that? Is which do? Yeah, so Sprint 1, typically this will be, I'll specify it when we get close to each of these dates. So for this one, Sprint 1, it's due tomorrow. I try not to be too hard about the dates. You know, I just want you guys to, I don't want you to stress out. I know you're under a lot of stress with all your other classes and whatnot. I want you to do the work and not have too much stress. So the thing about the Sprint 1, you haven't had that much time to do it in class. All I'm looking for, okay, everybody's attention, everybody. All I'm looking for Sprint 1 is for the developers to just be able to do the character, third person controller for the character, and that you have some interface that you can interact with. You're clicking on things are happening, right? And you're working with your designer. So it's really your first time of working with a designer. And then for the designer, you'll work together probably on the animation, right? So the designer should make at least one object, maybe the portal, and it's using the process that I've outlined in the video, right? So you make a portal, you make some, fancy object, right? And that becomes part of your experience. The door opens, and remember, you want to record like a 30-second thing of your character doing something, doing some interactivity, light interactivity, and then jumping through the portal. All right, and then I'll just link them all together. And you can, if you want to have an idea, maybe it's nice to have a theme or something, that's fine. But don't overthink it. It's just really what you can get done in a short amount of time. And I want to make sure everybody here knows those very, very basics of working in Unity, how to do some basic interactivity and how to work together with an artist and a coder. Is that clear? Okay. And so then for the other deliverable, I'll say, let's say that one's due at midnight tomorrow. The one that's due at midnight tomorrow, that's your milestone 1. And what I really want to see from milestone 1 is that you have a project running, you have some stuff blocked out, you have, if there's any object that's going to be interactive or complex, you need to have a placeholder. It doesn't have to be the final project. You don't need to have any of your textures and materials. But I do recommend taking a stab at the lighting and the skybox, so you have starting to get a look and feel for it. That way, I know that you have one more week. I know that you're not starting it a week from today. That you've got some momentum, because I know how these projects go. The hardest part is getting started. Once you get it started, you're going to want to work on it, right? And so those are the things that are due tomorrow. We don't have, this class is so short. I'm going to talk about the know-how assignment. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. Okay. Instead, what we're going to do today is Kedari is going to talk about version control. So he's going to come up here and I'm going to record this. He's going to talk about using Unity's version control instead of Git. If you guys want to, you can use whatever you want. This really isn't part of the class. This is just a fun bonus thing. If you want to use Git, that's fine. But Kedari's convinced me that because the Unity version control is integrated with Unity, that it's a better option. I think you should at least look at it and try it. Okay. So Kedari is going to come up here. I am going to stop my sharing. I'll leave everything else here. Yeah, that's right. So you can just switch here. Do you want to use this mouse?
I'm good. I can.
All right. So you want to, if you want to connect to them, and then what's that?
Should I be on Zoom?
Yes. Yeah, you have to be on Zoom and you have to share your screen. Remember we talked about this.
So is it the same? Should I just join your classroom?
Yes. Sorry about that. I think I can just do this. See, is it in the syllabus? Yep, Zoom link is in the syllabus. Okay. Oh no. What happened? Oh, inevitably. Now you know what my job's like, right? Happens to me all the time.
I can solve.
Yeah, go. Yeah, go ahead. All right, so everybody, Kedari this is just something that he's volunteered to do to help you guys. So please thank him by giving him your full attention and not using your phones. I know how hard that is sometimes. Kedari, take it away.
Yeah. I didn't. Okay. So that brings in. Yeah, that brings in. Okay, I am. So let's start about Unity version control. So whenever you're creating a new project in Unity, like whenever you just go and click a new project in Unity, you'll always find an option that says Unity organization.
Wait, hold on. We can't do this because it's not going to be recorded. I want to record this.
Oh.
Afterwards, after the class, I've catered a nice dinner for you all tonight, so just please help yourselves to dinner out there.
Professor, I think I'm wrong.
What's that?
This Zoom link is not the one that I have. Can you please share me the link on Discord? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The one on syllabus.
All good.
All right, I'm going to turn my microphone off.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not recording.
It is good. You're all set.
So whenever you are creating a new project in Unity, like whenever you open Unity Hub, you can always see that there is an option that says Unity Organization. So this is the operation where all so you can keep switching between organizations if you have multiple organizations. And whenever you are creating a Unity Hub, you will Unity Cloud as well. So whenever you are creating a project, if you just click on use Unity version control, it automatically helps you track all the projects using Unity version control. One benefit is like it's mostly like this, but most beneficial part of this is like you don't need to perform any git code, pull commit, merge, any of these commands. All of it is just a simple UI which has all the options like it helps you show, I mean, within changes, incoming changes, or if it has any merge properties. Basically a simple UI like any other source control apps like source free or anything like that. So it helps you track easily. It's up to your option. So if, for example, if, I'll just show you with an existing project that I already have. So if I could just close this, reopen this. Oh, no, I was just having the if I could just if I open up a project, sometimes you when the project is opening here, when you are creating a new project, it even shows the organization where it is being created. So all of this can even be tracked, like whatever the projects that are being created under your cloud, they can be tracked under DevOps, Unity DevOps. So it used to be called as Plastic before it was changed to Unity version control. So to track all the projects that are under your organization, you can just go to browser and just log into your repositories, or you can just log into the DevOps source control directly.
Link for that as well.
Yeah, I'll share. So this is how the web version of the DevOps would look like. And you also have a separate application if you want to go through an application for the same that says Unity DevOps version control. So when you're viewing it through the browser, so and the first thing that it starts is near a dashboard that which shows which project you're currently working on and what organization this project is currently situated on. So all of these projects that you see right here are my personal projects that are created under my cloud. But if you are sharing it between multiple person, like your teammates want to share the project with you and he wants to add you to their organization. So that happens here. Like you can see whatever the organization you're currently part of. And for example, if this is the organization that was shared from some other developer to me and they have added my email to it, I can easily track what projects I'm part of. You can just go into the project, see what files it has, like basically the same, like the same hierarchy, what all the Unity project files have. And if you want to use this particular file, or if you want to use this project in your local, like create this in your local, you can just download Unity source control app on your machine. Just click on open an app. It just opens the app. And this is the workspace explorer. So since I already have this existing, it prompts you and it asks you if you have to create this copy. Just click, you can just follow the steps that it shows. And it prompts you to a location where you need to store your project. Once you open the project, so under Windows, you can see, I mean, once you have picked the check mark when you are creating a new project that says use Unity version control, you can automatically see the version control option available under your Windows panel. Click on it and it will automatically show you all these changes. So whatever the changes that you're making come under pending, I mean, they're all self-explanatory, and incoming changes are the ones that are coming out outside your working repo. Change sets refers to all the recent changes that which were made to your particular to the project, like multiple people are working on the project, right? So it's just like showing what's been done at the latest. And branches are like the multiple branches you might be working on. So one thing that I would suggest to take care when you're using any version control is the naming conventions. For example, say you have been working on a scene called test scene or something, and your co-developer is also working on the same scene. You should guys use the same branch to push into the, I mean, to use the same branch and push in there. It is a problem that whoever goes in first, they are in the safe side. Once you're pulling it, you're going to get all the changes right up. So you should take care when you're merging up two different branches. I mean, this happens in the Git as well. It will show you what conflicts you have. So ensure that you create your files in such a way that they never overlap your code developers and you don't lose your changes as well. So if you have to create a new project, or if you need to share your the projects with your team, you can just go to uh, dashboard, repository. If you have to create a new repository under a particular thing, like I need to create under my own cloud, I can just go and click on new repository and create this repo. Yeah, you need to create the repo because you can just create this uh, the project that which you are creating in Unity, you can directly start creating in this repository. I mean, it helps track your whole project. I'll show you how it's done. So just say open in desktop app. So it will automatically show you the repo is empty here because it's a new project. So if you're planning to create a new project on it, just download this repository and it will prompt you to, I mean, it will prompt where you need to store this particular repository. Store it in a location where you need to store it. And then when you create a new project for Unity, ensure that you start creating the project on this location where the repository is being started so that it helps you track all the files. For example, if if you have already created the project and if you still need to push it into this repository, you can just copy all the files, just the whole project folder, and just paste it into the repo so that it even helps in tracking. So ensure one thing that I would say is don't have multiple folders. Like for example, say your project name is ABC or test or something like that. And once you click on it, it should directly open assets, libraries, and all the folders. And you should not have a hierarchy that says ABC, ABC1, ABC2, and then it opens assets because that makes a lot of confusion when you keep progressing with your project. And the branch explorer shows a timeline where like whatever the changes that you have, it's mostly similar to like Git commits, where you can just track all the trace of all the commits that were recently pushed to your project. And I mean, it tells you what are the different types of branches that are being created for the project. I'm sorry about that. And the changes, all the changes that were pushed to the project. And I don't believe you not code review is required because your teammates would track what you're writing, and that's pretty much it. And you can even, without using the application externally, you can directly push all your changes using the Unity version control that's present inside Unity. Like if you have any changes, or if you need to push them directly, you just need to add a commit and just check in changes. It directly gets pushed to the repository, and the other developer or your teammates can directly pull in. I think there are no changes. Yeah, so you just need to add like I may say it's something like this. Yeah, and you can just select, I mean, if you have files that you don't need, for example, there will be many meta files that will be created whenever you are executing your project. Or for example, if you're building an APK, there will be a lot of APK information that gets generated apart, I mean, along with your APK. You don't need all that data to be pushed to the cloud, right? So you can just copy the APK. I mean, you can just pick the APK information and take out all the other information. And there'll be a lot of metadata that will be also created when you're generating your APK. So you don't need to push all of it because that creates uh, the project gets massive when you just keep pushing all this data into the cloud. Like all this burst information, ship information, all of this is created when you're generating an APK for the VR headset. So you don't need to push all of this. You just need the APK that you're finally generating. So just take care of pushing only the necessary changes that you need. And to add, I mean, if you have a person who you need to share the project with, like if I've created a repository, right? If I need to share this repository with someone, so you can just go to the seats. For example, if there is any project that you need to share with your co-developer, you can just there will be the constraint that Unity version control comes that is that you can only have 3 people assigned to the project. So if you have 5 people working on the same project, you should decide who the 3 people are going to be. The lucky 3 ones who are going to be there. Who's going to push and pull all the things for you. You would suggest 2 developers and one lead designer in the team who will be taken like if for the final project if you are a 5 people team the 2 developers in the team and one lead designer who's going to take the lead in pushing and pulling all the changes. So if you need to share it with your teammates, you can just assign the seats and add their email address and just invite them. So this directly sends them an email saying that you are invited to this project in organization by so and so author. So you can just go and click on it and you will directly I mean, all of this will be stored because since your teammate has invited you to be part of their organization, you'll automatically see their organization appearing up here. You just need to click on it, go to the repo, click on it, open an app, it directly opens in source control, download it, and start editing it. That's it. Yeah, any questions?
How about if you already have an existing project and you want to now create a original?
Yeah, so you just need to go to repositories and just start creating a new repo. Start creating a new repo with a name, and you just need to clone this repo. I mean, you just need to download this repo into your local, and then copy your whole project into that repo. Copy and paste it. It'll automatically track everything for you.
So you can't create it from an already exists. That's not the original.
No, I mean if the repository is already available, or else if you want to start it from scratch, you can just install Unity version control on your machine, and then you can ideally do that if you don't have Unity version control. I mean, the project is not started with Unity version control when it is created, and if it is created already, it will automatically show you directly in the application, in the Unity application.
That's pretty good, right? Any questions, anybody? Is that correct?